Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our group will be presenting to you our group YouTube project, which is about effective teachers and effective classroom management. So, here is our table of content for our slide, starting with introduction, followed by brief literature and definition of classroom management. After that, effective teaching in Islamic perspective, interview session, and lastly, conclusion. Before that, please allow me to introduce my group members. My group members are myself, Farah Fatihah binti Khalid, next Khadisa binti Muhammad Bukhari, then Ummu Hani binti Abdul Ghani, lastly Nur Farahin binti Zulkifli. The objective of this topic is to understand the importance in having effective teachers and classroom management, so we can use to improve in the ways of teaching and classroom management. Second, to learn about effective teachers between Western perspectives and Islamic perspectives. This can help us to understand different opinions between both perspectives. Third, to learn in creating a supportive learning atmosphere in classroom management by having excellent lesson plan before starting the lesson. Lastly, to observe suitable classroom management techniques and strategies that can be used to enhance quality of teaching. According to the news of the Sun Daily, Singapore is ranked second in the world in mathematics, science and reading, while Malaysia is ranked 48, 48 and 57 respectively. Despite one time being together under the umbrella of the Federation, the contrast between Singapore's and Malaysia's education standards could not be more striking as the former surged and leaped forward since its separation in 1965. This is a wake-up call for Malaysia to examine the fundamentals of its education system and how it could produce high-quality students and citizens. Issues that faced by Malaysian teachers are early quitting and dissatisfaction among teachers remain rife. According to a study by International Islamic University Malaysia, workload appears to be the most prevalent factors contributing to a teacher's occupational stress. This is a fact that as teachers assume the roles of lecturer, mediator, curriculum planner, exam grader, school administrator, and warden, it is an understatement to say that they are overloaded. It caused the educators become highly irritable and moody because of poor emotional regulation and poor balanced lifestyle. As a result, there has been an increasing amount of literature to support the link between poor emotional regulation and poor job satisfaction. Meanwhile, issues that faced by Malaysian students are performance in reading literacy. As much as 13% of children in late primary schools are not proficient in reading, and 50% of 15-year-old Malaysians have a reading capability below their level. Based on research by Talis University Schools of Education has shown that children who are not able to read according to their respective grade levels, example standard 5 in the Malaysian context, are more likely to drop out of school due to low proficiency in reading. The most effective way to promote literacy skills is by reading more. However, only few children are provided with a conducive learning environment to develop this interest. The finding from a study by Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia suggested that motivation, interest, and prior vocabulary knowledge were the key factors that influence learners' reading comprehension skills. This is where grassroots initiatives such as My Readers come to play to empower teachers and parents to promote reading literacy. These factors were academic overloaded, classwork difficulties, examination anxieties, high expectations, both self-imposed and by parents and teachers, poor social relationships, bullying at schools, verbal and physical abuse from teachers and staff, absentee parents, domestic violence between parents and also between parents and their child, and social comparisons. Therefore, we can see that having an effective teachers and effective classroom management was important to enhance the quality in learning, especially in reading, writing, and speaking to produce intelligent generation.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Khadija binti Muhammad Bukhari. So, I would like to explain to you what is definition of effective teachers. If you want to know, let's take a look together. So, the definition of effective teachers is effective teachers are an essential component of any education system, and effective teachers is a skilled and knowledgeable professional who has the ability to inspire and engage students in the learning process. Effective teachers are adept at creating a positive learning environment, developing personalized teaching strategies, and effectively communicating complex concepts to students. They also play a crucial role in shaping the mind of students and helping them become well-rounded individuals. Overall, an effective teacher has a profound impact on student learning, growth, and success both inside and outside the classroom. So, we already have in mind what is the meaning of effective teacher. Now, we are going to proceed with the importance of effective teacher. Firstly, the importance of effective teacher is to enhance the overall academic achievement from students. This is because effective teachers have a significant impact on students' academic performance. They possess the knowledge, skills, and instructional strategies necessary to facilitate learning and help students' success. Through their expertise and guidance, they can foster a deep understanding of subject and improve critical thinking skills for students. Secondly, the importance of effective teacher is personal growth and development. Effective teachers not only focus on academic progress but also support students' personal growth and development. They serve as role models, promoting positive values, social skills, and character traits. Effective teachers also nurture students' self-confidence, resilience, and perseverance, helping them develop into well-rounded individuals who are prepared for future challenges. The third one, the importance of effective teacher is promoting emotional well-being. Effective teachers create a nurturing and inclusive classroom environment that supports students' emotional well-being. They build positive relationships with their students, providing a sense of belonging and safety. By fostering a caring and supportive atmosphere, effective teachers promote mental health and create an environment where students feel comfortable expressing themselves and seeking help when needed. So, we already know that students' achievement is related with the teacher. Now, let's take a look how effective teacher affect on students' achievement. One way that effective teachers affect student achievement is by creating a positive learning environment. Effective teachers establish a classroom culture that is conducive to learning. They also create a safe and welcoming space where students feel comfortable, respected, and valued. This encourages students to actively engage with the material, ask questions, and participate in class discussion. As a result, students are more likely to achieve academic success because they are motivated and invested in their learning. Secondly, how effective teachers affect on students' achievement by engaging instructional methods. This is because effective teachers employ a variety of instructional methods to engage students and cater to different learning styles. They also use interactive techniques such as discussion, group activities, and hands-on experiments, making learning enjoyable and memorable. Thirdly, to have good communication skill is one way that effective teacher affect on students' achievement. Effective teachers are skilled communicators who can explain complex concepts in a clear and understandable manner. They use language and examples that resonate with their students, ensuring that everyone grasps the material. Furthermore, the effective communication consists of transforming the boring into the exciting presentation skills. Fourthly, how the effective teacher affect on students' achievement is by doing an effective feedback and assessment. An effective teacher will provide timely and constructive feedback to students, helping them understanding their strengths and areas for improvement. They use various assessment methods to gain student progress accurately and adapt their teaching accordingly. Last but not least, another way that used by effective teacher to affect students' achievement is by setting high expectation. Last but not least, another way that used by effective teacher to affect students' achievement is by setting high expectation. This is because effective teachers believe in their students' potential and set high expectation for their academic performance. They encourage students to strive for excellence, motivating them to work hard and achieve their goals.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Umuhani binti Abdul Ghani, matric number 2219942. I will explain to you guys about definition of classroom management. So what does it mean? It refers to the wide variety of skills and techniques that teachers use to keep students organized, orderly, focused, attentive, on task, and academically productive during a class. When classroom management strategies are executed effectively, teachers minimize the behavior that impede learning for both individual students and groups of students, while maximizing the behavior that facilitate or enhance learning. Next, the importance of classroom management. First, it helps create a conducive learning environment. Classroom management skills can help teachers to create a favorable environment that will make all their students have a sense of belongingness so that they will feel free to explore more learning opportunities within the boundaries and standards established by collaborative efforts between teachers and their students. This is possible if teachers have a well-thought-out plan to manage the behavior of their students and their classroom. Second, it increases task time and reduces classroom disruption. Teachers try to predict all the possible disruption and make plans to manage them appropriately. It increases the time students spend on lesson activities rather than talking about the disruptive behavior of their friends. For example, the teacher can be able to predict all the possible behavior of students who are talkative and put in place the ideal steps to take in managing this behavior. When this is done, students will gain more time to work on their class activities. Third, it helps boost the morale of the teacher. Having good classroom management skills helps boost a teacher's morale. It makes she feel like a master of her job, a master who does not only brings out the best in her students, but also derives strong satisfaction and motivation from what she does. Last but not least, it set out how to deal with misbehavior. Once teachers have created the rules in the class, they can also make it clear how inappropriate behavior will be dealt with. Although working through behavior problems by modeling and focusing on good behavior and using positive reinforcement is always preferable, sometimes teachers need to intervene. The classroom management strategy should include ideas to deal with individuals being disruptive and whole class misbehavior. Classroom management strategies and technique. First, offer different types of free study time. Provide a variety of activities during free study time to appeal to students who struggle to process information in silence. Teachers can accomplish this by clearly dividing their class into solo and team activities. For example, teacher can keep a designated quiet space for students to take notes and complete assignments, or teacher can create a station for challenging group games that teach or reinforce standard aligned skills. By running these sorts of activities, free study time will begin to benefit diverse learners. This should contribute to overall classroom engagement. Second, give tangible rewards. If a few students actively listen throughout the lesson, answering questions and asking their own, teachers walk over to their students' desks shortly before the class ends to give them a gift. Declare aloud what each student did to earn the gift so that others can learn. Third, avoid punishing the class. Address isolated discipline issues individually rather than punishing an entire class, as the latter can harm your relationship with on-task students and jeopardize other classroom management efforts. Instead, in a friendly manner, call out specific students, such as, "Do you have a question?" instead of "Stop talking and distracting other students." This basic approach will allow you to maintain a friendly disposition while immediately recognizing inappropriate behavior. 4. Offer praise. Teachers are encouraged to compliment students on good work because it improves academic and behavioral performance. When it is genuine and includes specific examples of effort or achievement, praise can inspire the class, boost a student's self-esteem, and reinforce the rules and values teachers want to see. Perhaps more importantly, it encourages students to engage in positive behavior in the future. Lastly, consider peer teaching. If teachers believe their top performers can help engage and educate disruptive and struggling students, use peer teaching as a classroom management strategy. Peer teaching activities such as pairing students as reading buddies can be especially beneficial for students who lack confidence and interpersonal skills. How classroom management affect on students' achievement. First, engagement and attention. Effective classroom management practice promotes students' engagement and maintain their attention during lessons. When students are actively involved in the learning process, they are more likely to understand and retain information, leading to better achievement. Second, emotional and psychological safety. Classroom management techniques that prioritize creating a safe and supportive environment enhance students' emotional well-being. When students feel safe, respected, and valued, they are more likely to participate, take risks, and engage in academic activities, resulting in better achievement. Lastly, positive teacher-student relationships. Classroom management practice that foster positive teacher-student relationships have a significant impact on students' motivation and achievement. When students feel connected to their teachers and perceive them as caring and supportive, they are more likely to be engaged, seek help when needed, and strive for success.
Hello everyone, I am Nur Farahin binti Zulkifli. In this part of this video, I would like to share with you guys the effective teaching in Islamic perspective. So let's start. Okay, the first one is the definition. Teachers and educators in Islam are responsible to develop knowledge of Islam and guide students to be closer to Allah by advising, being an example, and teaching them values and ethics according to Islamic laws. Education in Islam emphasizes the role of moral development. Islam highlights on the importance of spirituality and religiosity. Objective of education in Islam is to develop humility and gratitude in human hearts. And also, the shaping of adab is primary in Islamic education that covers physical and spiritual aspects of life as well as the quality of the virtue inside mankind. A teacher should be morality and intellectuality balanced so that he or she can be a best example to their students. Okay, move to the next part, which is the role of educator in Islamic perspective. The first role of educator is to advise the students and prevent them from trying to obtain a degree before they are worthy of it. Second, choose the simple problems for the beginners and for those of limited intelligence. Third, follow the Prophet's example in spreading knowledge without expecting any remuneration for it. And the last one is to be kind to students and treat them as if they were their own children with ikhlas. Okay, for your information, in Islam, there are 7 concepts of teacher and leader. The first one is mudaris, the second one is murshid, the third one is mujaddid, the fourth one is muaddib, the fifth one is mujtahid, the sixth one is murabbi, and the last one is muallim. Okay everyone, in this part, I will explain in detail about 7M concept. The first one is mudaris. Mudaris comes from Arabic root which means to instruct or to teach. Mudaris teach in certain places where it is easier to control the students and their activities of learning, such as masjid, sufah, khatib, madrasah, school, classroom, or halaqah. Mudaris usually use a formal curricular methodology of teaching and standard textbook when teaching. Mudaris must be knowledgeable about the learning theory, effective instruction, and also curriculum. Mudaris teach the syllabus or knowledge that he is expertise with. Okay, the second one is murshid. Murshid is from Arabic root word which lead to meanings such as to guide, to direct, or to advise. In education, murshid is defined as a person who has the responsibility to guide the students to the right way through the ways of tasawwuf. Murshid may be in the form of teaching morals, directing students' physique and spirit, supervising them, knowing their personality, disciplining their life, and giving good example. It means that the spiritual dimension of students have to be fulfilled in order to counterbalance the intellectual one. Okay, the third one is mu'addib. Mu'addib means to mold, to discipline, to punish, or to correct. Mu'addib is responsible to reward students for good behaviors and punish them for bad behaviors. Having good behavior, good moral and intellectual qualities become prerequisites for those who want to become a mu'addib. Mu'addib has the power of authority that aims to reduce students' misbehavior. His responsibility is to educate and nurture students to become well-mannered, which means mu'addab. Okay, the fourth one is murabbi. Murabbi means to feed, to nourish, to nurture, to develop, to make grow, or to educate. Murabbi refers to a person who teaches and educates concepts and skills and shapes the behaviors, physics, spirit, and mental of his students. And Murabbi is also known as a person who nurtures, feeds, causes to increase in growth, or domesticates. Okay, the fifth one is mu'allim. Mu'allim means to teach or instruct. Mu'allim has great knowledge characterized by great competency in some or more specialization of knowledge and has deep understanding in terms of knowledge. A great quality of mu'allim is truth uttering. It is necessary that education should be obtained in the service of any teacher. Okay, so we have reached to the last 7 IM's concept, which is mujtahid and also mujaddid. Mujtahid comes from Arabic root including the word ijtihad, which collectively brought out the meaning which are strive and work hard. The characteristic of mujtahid is creative and initiative, encourage students to think critically and strategically, a meticulous decision maker, effective problem solver, use musyawarah, which means discussion, as a way in making decisions and respect the diversity of students' opinions. The roles of mujtahid is teachings guided by the Quran and Sunnah, practice what they preach so their judgment is trustable, submission to Sharia laws, teaching through knowledge which not contradicts with Islamic laws, understand human characteristics and surroundings. The last one is mujaddid. Mujaddid come from Arabic root words which bring meanings such as to renew, to develop, to update, and to modernize. A figure who does renovation, modernization, innovation, and reformation in a system of education. The characteristic of mujaddid is exposed to new technologies, having the power of innovation, motivated students to do their best and be creative as well as innovative, involved in institutional activities, establishing vision and mission of education institution. That's all from me. I hope you understand the terms that used in this chapter. Thank you.
Now, let's move to the interview session. In this session, we have obtained 2 respondents to answer 5 questions about the topic being discussed, which is Dr. Aizat and Puan Marina. The question that being asked is, what do you know about effective teaching? Can you give an example how to make your lesson effective? What are the types of activities that you do? How do you bring yourself to students and interact with students? How do you create your conducive learning environment in the classroom? The first respondent is Dr. Aizat. So, the answer to the first question given by Dr. Aizat is, in his opinion, an effective teacher is one who imparts knowledge and facilitates learning in a way that maximizes students' understanding, engagement, and achievement. For the answer to the second question, Dr. Aizat using various instructional strategies, creating a positive learning environment, and adapting teaching methods to meet the needs. The answer to the third question is that Dr. Aizat uses 2 common activities in his class, which are discussion and reflection. He said that discussion during class is one of the activities that helps him and his students understand the topic better. For him, reflection provides him with input on how well his students understand the lesson and how he can improve his teaching and learning in the future. For question number 4, he will prepare himself with strong subject knowledge, clear communication skills, and the ability to establish rapport with students. He will always try to use a real-world example to explain a concept to his students. Sometimes, he uses a different context or example to show that a particular topic can be easily understood in a different context. The answer to the last question is Dr. Aizat will always tell his students that in this class, he encourages them to ask and discuss, and the class is a judgment-free zone where he never treats any question as a silly question. He will always try to make them feel comfortable asking, and sometimes he will ask them instead, why did he do this? He said because he believes that as human, we all want others to listen and to be heard. So that is why healthy discussion is Dr. Aizat's way to create a conducive learning environment in the classroom. Moreover, I also agree with Dr. Aizat's answer because I am also one of his students. And for me, the method that he uses in his class is really effective, which makes me enjoy learning with him. That's all our interview with Dr. Aizat.
So, next, the second respondent was Puan Marina, was a retired lecturer from Institute Perguruan Guru IPG. The first question that was being asked is, what do you think you know about effective teaching as an educator? She answered that, in fact, effective teachers and effective classroom management are two elements that are interrelated with each other to ensure excellence in teaching and learning in the classroom. Of course, these two elements play an important role in guaranteeing the success of students as desired in the national education philosophy. An effective teacher is not only able to deliver teaching and learning in the classroom very brilliantly so that students really understand the content of the students clearly, instilling the right morals and beliefs, but also the students get inspiration and knowledge to solve problems in facing real life. The effectiveness of the teacher's teachings is embedded in the hearts of the students so much so that when they grow up, the students will be guided with true knowledge from these good teachers even if they have left the world of schooling. This explains that effective teachers and effective classroom management are important because they were related with each other. From what I understand, the respondent said that effective teachers not only simply teaching in class but also make the students understand the content of lesson clearly and detail while instill good manner and morality inside the students such as become a kind-hearted, diligent, hardworking, and many more. The good morals that have been taught by the teachers was embedded until they grow up, they become useful person with true knowledge. Second question was being asked to the respondent was, based on your opinion, can you give an example of how to make teaching in the classroom or outside the classroom effective? She responded that, well, based on my past experience, I found that teachers can implement various interesting learning methods and styles inside and outside the classroom because students will easily understand the teaching if they like the teacher and the subject being taught if the teacher uses creativity in teaching. For example, for subjects such as science, language, or Islamic education, practical methods or demonstrations can stimulate students to practice what is taught. For example, how to slaughter a chicken as taught in Islam, and in teaching language, teachers can teach students improvisation, techniques in literary materials, and so on. Practice carried out by students open their minds to the knowledge learned from textbooks in class. In the classroom as well, effective teachers should encourage their students to maximize their potential. For example, teaching and learning should be student-centered, meaning that students should do the activities planned in the teacher's daily plan. Activities of reading, presenting, questioning, and discussing should happen between students actively under the guidance of the teacher. Effective management makes teachers diversify their roles as facilitators, guides, counselors, leaders, and so on. In my understanding, she described that teachers can use various ways of teaching with their own creativity. Interesting learning helps to attract the students to learn more, especially activities that have practical methods. This can help the students to understand more and develop their understanding in the lesson because of their own experience. Moreover, effective teachers also should encourage students to maximize their potential, especially in learning by having students as center of learning under the guidance of teachers.
Okay, so the third question asked by the interviewer was, what are the types of activities that you do to attract students? So the respondents answered, as IPG's lecturer, she provides activities that help IPG students to be good at conveying knowledge in the classroom. For example, group discussion, activities use cooperative learning strategies such as number hit together, one stay, two stray, and also gallery tour. In addition, she emphasized the use of information technology in the activities in the classroom.
For question 4, the respondent believed that teacher as a guide and facilitator who assist students to do assignment or presentation. They are also strict and autocratic when it comes to the morals and manners of a teacher, such as the way to dress, sit, and speak while in and out of class. As for the last question, the respondent convinced that conducive learning environment includes physical conditions, layout, decorations, and a good attitude among students. This should be supported by a good attitude of tolerance, courtesy, love, and no abusive words in the class.
Alright, finally we come to the end. The conclusion of this video is that the teacher is not only responsible to assist students with studies, but also need to pay attention in shaping their attitudes as well as providing emotional support. Not only that, effective teachers instill confidence in their students by delivering positive feedback of students' great works in accomplishing the task given, recognizing their students' skills and accomplishments, and providing opportunity for success. And the last one is a proper and effective class management help to monitor students' interactions, create a positive and supportive classroom culture that encourage students' engagement, participation, and also success. I think that's all from us. We hope that you can learn something from this video and also will be useful for us as the teacher in the future. Thank you everyone. See you next time.